You're listening to the SubStation Gaming Podcast. I'm Lucas. With me I have Black Chestnut
Hello.
and Ricola. And today we're going over the Nintendo Direct at E3.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's safe to say that this was like the best direct, or E3 presentation.
yes. Hands
Yeah.
down, no questions about it.
Not much competition, really.
No,
Like they already had won it with the Smash character.
pretty much.
And that wasn't even the most hype thing they talked about and showed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, since we're on the topic
the Smash character was the first one, right?
was it?
I think it was.
Okay, well, since we're on the Smash character, what's his exact name?
What is his name exactly? I know
Kazuya.
he's a chicken dude.
Kazuya?
Kazuya Mi-
Yeah, from
Kazuya.
Tekken.
Yeah.
And holy
Tekken dude.
shit, he has like this 10-hit combo that looks sick. They gave him his demon form.
It's Devil Man.
Oh yeah.
He just turns from like Tekken Fighter to Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was very cool. I'm so happy that it wasn't a Pokemon.
Yeah, there's still one more they have to reveal, right?
Yeah.
That will be a
Hey,
Pokemon.
I did say I think there would be a Bandai Namco character, didn't I? And I was right.
Yes, you technically were right.
We got a Bandai
Yes.
Namco character. It wasn't Chosen Undead. Chosen Undead would have been cooler. But, yeah, it was pretty good.
Tekken's cool. We got more than just a Mii costume now.
Indeed.
Although we could still have the Mii costume.
Yeah.
But, costume
I
would be
itchy.
hilarious.
But what was next on the on their
Next. Okay, next they just showed off Square Enix bullshit.
right?
Yeah, they showed off the Avengers game, which is
Oh,
only
right.
coming to Switch. Well, not the Avengers game, it was the
Guardians of the
Guardians of
Galaxy.
the Galaxy. But that's only coming to Switch through like a stream version. So,
Okay.
like you can't play it natively on your Switch. You have to stream it. Which they've done a similar thing in the past for like Resident Evil 7 and stuff. So, yeah. Don't bother getting it on your Switch. And then
I
I
believe.
know it was another Square Enix thing.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to think now.
It was some...
Do we not just get up a list for the sake of expediency?
I mean, I know
I'm gonna
they showed
grab-
off those two things, and then they showed off Shin Megami Tensei, right?
That was a little bit later.
That's not Square Enix. That's Atlas.
Well, I know
Yeah.
that. I was just saying they showed off those things
It
for
was
Square
Smash
Enix.
Fighter and then Life is Strange. That was the thing after it.
Oh yeah, they were
It was
basically
another
saying.
trailer for Life is Strange.
Yeah, they were saying it's coming to Switch.
They
think that-
showed some footage that was very clearly not rendered with a Switch.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was probably like PS5 gameplay or something.
Right.
Yeah, and then they had the Worms game, which I'm pretty sure is already out,
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming to Switch. I'm pretty sure most people.
that's the side-scrolling
least-
battle royale game, right?
Yeah, and most Worms fans, I'm pretty sure, didn't care for it much. They're like, this
Yeah.
is Worms. This is not what I want.
This isn't Worms.
It still looks fun, just jumping around blowing people up.
Yeah,
It's got the appeal of Worms, just without that base gameplay. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had that one JRPG where everything was
oh yeah,
like, drawing, that one. I don't even remember the name.
kind of pretty.
Yeah.
I forgot it very quickly.
That
One of the
one
bosses
one.
had
That...
a drill scythe.
Oh yeah. What the fuck was that?
And then they showed off 2 Point Campus again.
Oh,
which
yep.
talked about
again,
earlier.
which sounds like a nightmare to play on a controller.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, I'd like it portable, like game like that, but
Yeah.
you just need a touchscreen for that.
Yeah.
Or
Definitely.
Like
mouse.
after the Smash character, there was like a good like solid 3 minutes where it was just kind of like
Well, they're
shit
calming
we
you
already
down, you know.
seen
It's like a
before.
roller coaster.
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't that bad. It was just like it was a bunch of shit we already seen before, or like, you know, weird stuff to an extent.
Right.
But thankfully it didn't last very long because right after that it went right into Monkey Ball.
Yeah,
That's
what's
pretty awesome.
What was it? The first 3 games?
I
remade?
think so. Yeah,
Yeah, damn. So we finally have all the good Monkey Ball games.
pretty
We'll be able
much.
to play.
Yeah,
Monkey Ball.
pretty much.
Yep. But as
Yeah.
far as that goes,
Like after the Smash character, there was like a small bump, you know, like a speed bump. But then
Yeah.
right after that, it went right back to being.
Well, they got to get these have these announcements. So you start strong, then you
Yeah.
peter out a bit. You know,
Honestly, this direct went really fast, and I kind of wish that they had just took it a little slower and made
Yeah.
it like an hour. You know?
yeah, they kind of brake checked us like 5 minutes into it, and then just full throttled it for the rest, for like the next 25 minutes.
Yeah. But like, Monkey Ball is super cool.
Yeah, definitely. Never played it or heard of it, but it looked cool.
I played it. They're tough.
you roll around as a
They're like
monkey
marble
ball. I've played
games.
Banana Blitz HD.
They're marble games, you know. Do you have any familiar with like games like where you basically you control the platform that your character's on, but not your actual character. The character just moves around through momentum and stuff.
Right.
To
right,
be
right.
honest, that's more unique about Monkey Ball. I've seen plenty of marble games where you do kind of roll the ball itself a bit more,
Yeah.
like marble it up and stuff.
But it's like one of those games. It's good.
Sounds like a nightmare of Joy-Con drift, though. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
get a pro controller to play this game.
And then after Monkey Ball,
It was Mario Party.
yep, Mario Party
Party
Superstars.
I'm shocked. Looks like
yeah.
a Mario Party game I might consider buying.
Me too.
It's so
You know
long,
what? What we should do? We should. One of us. Actually, we'd probably all have to get it. But
Yeah.
either one of us or all of us gets this game, and then we can play it.
Yeah, we've always played
It
Mario
is a
Party.
bit disappointing to only see 5 boards.
I think they'll add more. I think unlike
DLC?
Super Mario Party, they'll actually support this one.
Hopefully.
It could just. This could
Yeah.
just be they're throwing it out. They could just, hey, here's remember they did big minigame collection in 3DS? It just, that
Yeah,
just came out of
this
nowhere.
feels a bit better, if only for the fact that it's very obviously going to be the best Mario Party we've seen in over a decade.
I don't think I've heard the card games are bad. It's just that was a weird experimental thing that the Mario Party. No one wants that from Mario Party.
Yeah. I've played one of them one time with an acquaintance. It was kind of weird.
Right.
I was just, what is this shit?
The Wii
Just
U
sitting
one
there
actually,
confused
where
the whole
where
time.
one player's Bowser kind of sounded neat.
Yeah.
I could just
Or
imagine
Dora
you
playing
just
that.
sitting there, Black Chestnut, just confused the entire time.
It was odd.
Not even having fun.
It was odd. Yeah, this Mario Party actually looks good. It's probably because they're literally just taking the best mini games and best map boards from the classic first 3 Mario Party games, the ones that everybody likes.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's just instead of trying to make a new Mario Party game and making it good, let's just do the same shit that we already know works.
Yeah.
It's genius. Nintendo should do this more.
They should.
Taking the formula they know actually works and people like and actually doing that. Yeah. This new Mario Party actually looks really good, and it's the first Mario Party in over 10 years that I'm actually interested in buying. So this was a pretty great reveal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could agree.
I had a feeling we were gonna see a new Mario Party, at this E3, and I was not wrong. And I was pleasantly surprised by how good it looks.
Yeah. Maps are pretty. It's a shame that the Mario Party 2 maps probably will not have the costume.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But after that, we had a quick little update on Prime 4 saying it's still in development. Don't
Wow.
worry, guys. We didn't cancel it.
And wow, it
And-
looked really. Wait, I'm thinking of.
And then
Yeah, I'm thinking of something
they
else.
showed off Metroid 5.
Okay, yeah, Metroid 5 looks fucking sick.
Oh my god. I'm so excited for this game. It comes out in fucking October.
I know.
This is their spooky October game.
It is.
Also, it does look stressful, that robot chasing you around.
Yeah, so they showed off a ton of gameplay for this after the show. Like a ton.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It's very obviously taking a lot of elements from Samus Returns, but it seems like they smoothed out the mechanics that they introduced in that one to improve them and make them a lot better. Like,
Yeah, like I remember liking the parry.
the parry you can now do while running, so it doesn't stop
Oh,
your momentum
nice.
anymore,
That's cool.
which is really awesome.
What other issues were there with? It's been so long since I played Samus Returns.
Yeah. I know there's a new slide move. Pretty sure that wasn't in.
Fun. Yeah, I don't remember that
But
being
yeah.
in there at all.
But the robot, like Emmy, whatever called.
Emmy, I think it's just
I think
Emmy.
Yeah. Yeah. If it actually catches you, it's a one-hit kill.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
it's like, get fucked.
It doesn't do any damage to you, like, in range, but it will chase you down and, like, search for you in the areas that it specifically are
creepy.
in. And, like, there's different color ones that have different abilities and stuff.
Oh.
Like, some can crawl through, like, small gaps so you can't morph ball away, and some will, like, dash at you at, like, high speeds.
Sounds possibly terrifying.
Yeah. And if they catch you, it's a one-hit kill. You just get a game
Yeah.
over immediately.
That's a good fit for Metroidvania. Like, I've just never seen someone try to put that in like a...
Yeah.
Like that.
We've had similar concepts, you know, in Metroid, you know, with, like,
Yeah, like
Dark
Infusion.
Samus in Prime 2 and Infusion with the Evil
But-
Samus clone.
The Evil Samus Infusion is honestly doesn't show up that often. They're
Yeah.
scary when they do, but still. I hope in Emmy will be more of a persistent threat.
Yeah. Well, it's not, kinda. So how it works is that they're only in these specific areas, which are designated by, like, these specific doors that you have to go through.
Yeah.
They're, like, blocky and pixelated. Whenever you walk through those, you know you're going into an Emmy area, and that they're gonna start chasing you down and hunting you.
Sounds great.
But you do get some, like, stealth abilities to help defend
Yeah,
yourself.
it's like you
And,
can
like,
turn
the Emmy
invisible
areas
or whatever.
go through, like, multiple rooms, but it's not like they're chasing you at all times, you know?
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably similar, if I had to give a comparison, to maybe, like, Nemesis from Resi 3.
Yeah.
The
That makes
original
sense,
how he
yeah.
works there, where he's
Yeah, he's
he
not
only really
constantly there.
chases you in, like, specific areas, but he's not there 100% of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like how Mr. X is in.
Yeah, once Mr.
I
X
see.
shows up, he's nonstop.
Yeah, he, like, never goes away. You just don't know where he is. Like, if you haven't seen him in a while, that just means he's on the other half of the map, pretty much, rocking around.
Yeah. Where, yeah, once Nemesis shows up, he's constantly chasing you until you get out of an area where he can't go to. Which, yeah, so Emmy's similar.
So that was a
And what I want to do is
fantastic reveal,
simplify
especially
knowledge
exciting
of
since we haven't had a
exploring is
new,
9 to the
like a brand new 2D Metroid game in 19 years.
You know, Samus Returns might have well been new of how much stuff they changed
Yeah,
and added.
that's why I'm saying, like, brand new, because, well, Samus Returns is a remake. It's also a remake of a Game Boy game that changed a ton.
Yeah.
So it's effectively new, but in the same way that Resident Evil 2 remake is effectively new, you know?
Yeah. Like there's ideas shared, but
Yeah.
design-wise, it's just so different.
hmm
Um, anything else you want to say about Metroid? Looks really
It
pretty.
looks fucking great. I
Yeah,
cannot
like,
wait to play it.
honestly,
I'm buying this day one.
I thought
It really-
Samus Returns looked kind of cheap when I played it. Like
Yeah.
this looks like a big improvement. I mean, Samus Returns. I was comparing it to Hollow Knight at the time,
Yeah.
which is kind of unfair, but to be fair,
Well, Hollow
Knight
Knight's
had
the ultimate, like... The thing is, if you compare any game to Hollow Knight will always win, and that's just because Hollow Knight is, like, an insanely good game. It's, like, a fucking masterpiece, and it's $15. So,
yeah, made by 3
no
people.
game really competes with Hollow Knight, you know? Like,
Yeah,
in
I
order
just-
to compete with Hollow Knight, you gotta be like an Undertale, where it's an obscenely amazing game that's like $10, you know?
right.
You know, it's just like, because that's the thing, it's like whenever I compare any big AAA new release, if I compare it to Hollow Knight will always win, because Hollow Knight is a perfect 10 out of 10 that's like 40 to 60 hours, and is
I'll be
also
real. It being 40 to
$15.
60 hours is part of my is one of is actually something I half don't like about it. Like I like the scale. At the same
It's
time,
awesome,
I've never
it just
gotten
never
around to
fucking
finishing
ends, it keeps going.
Exactly.
It's great.
When it's like the average Metroidvania is like 8 hours or so.
Yeah. Nah, it just
Crazy.
means it's that much better. And it's
Yeah,
not like
because-
any of that is filler stuff like you see with
Oh,
like
yeah.
Ubisoft fucking games where it's just, you know, a giant open world of copy pasted shit, you know? Everything, every single area is like 100% unique. It's all full of unique enemies. There's so many fucking bosses in Hollow Knight. You know, it's not a really fair game to compare anything to, just because it's like, you know, Hollow Knight was made by two gods pretending to be man. You know?
pretty much.
Yeah.
But Samus Returns had money, I assume.
That's true. But it was also on the 3DS.
Kind of covering
True.
with numbers.
And hopefully
Either way, you know, even if Metroid Dread isn't as good as Hollow Knight, I'm still excited for it. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's just not a fair comparison
that's
you know.
true.
to an extent.
Right.
I mean, it kind of is because it was an indie game for $15, made by two guys, but you know,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. You could say that Hollow Knight is like a lightning in a bottle.
Suppose.
I don't know. We'll have to see with Silk Song. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
we really will.
is Metroid Dread gonna be able to, like, be better than Hollow Knight Silk Song? Probably not. But hey, it's another awesome new game to look forward to, so I don't really care. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get both, and I'm gonna enjoy both, and it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be nice. Excitedness.
Yeah. After that, there was like some Just Dance stuff.
Alright.
But
Skip
then
it.
there was
Just
that one
Dance.
racing game. What was it?
Wasn't it like an arcade port?
I think it was. Raw Thrill. No, that was the developers. Cruisin' Blast is the name of the game.
Ah.
It
There's a
was
unicorn.
very colorful and neon, but not in like a good way.
It looked like an arcade game. Like I'd pay a few
Yeah,
quarters to
it
play
does
that.
look like an arcade game. Yeah,
I'd not pay
it
whatever
looks
price.
something you'd play like at a movie theater or something. You know, waiting for your Fast and Furious movie to start.
Yes, that is
If you
exactly
show up
the
like a
energy.
half an hour early and you don't want to sit in the theater for a half an hour
Yeah.
for your movie to start, so you play on the arcade cabinets they got over there, you know?
That is exactly the energy of this game.
Oh, yeah. After that, though, we got the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Now, I'm pretty sure this was announced before. We didn't see
Yes,
that
it
much
was.
of it. So, got to see more of it. And it looks good.
Mhm.
There's so many, like, Dragon Ball Z games and stuff, and you never know if they're gonna be, like, good or not. It's always a coin flip.
Yeah, there's some crap
I mean,
ones.
that one honestly looked like a lot of elements from Xenoverse, which kind of excited me. but at the same time, it is its own game, so it could add or remove some features that I'm used to from that game. But it looked cool, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really...
It's also
pretty
a
good.
retelling of Z, correct?
Yeah, it goes through like all of the arcs from Z, it looks like. And it also looks like it
Ew.
touches on some super stuff as well.
Huh.
Actually, did this game already release, and is this just an expanded re-release of it?
Who knows?
It might be because they were saying a lot of things like story playthroughs where you have to like go through Frieza's invasion and then Cell's invasion.
Yeah.
Google this really.
Yeah, let's just do some research real quick. Hold up.
Kakarot. When did this release? Yeah, I think it's already out. It came out last year. Okay.
Okay.
But okay, so this is like an expanded like re-release with more stuff and stuff. And it seems to have good reviews. From what I can tell.
Now you can play Goku on the go. Ooh.
Yeah.
You could already do that with the Pocket phone game.
But is the enhanced re-release only coming to Switch? Or is okay?
Possibly,
It
they
includes
announced
all the
here.
DLC. This is what it is. It's a Switch port of the game with all the DLC.
Okay.
So I guess this would, in
Cool.
theory, be the best version to buy because it would come with the DLC as opposed to buying the Steam version where you have to buy the DLC separate. Although that depends on how, how much you spend on the Steam version. If you get it on sale on Steam, it might still be a better deal. But the season
Yeah.
pass looks expensive, and I imagine the Switch version is only going to be $60. Well, the Steam version right now is still $60, and if you buy like the fancy special edition, it's like $95, and I don't even know if that comes with the full season pass, which is $25.
Yikes.
So I imagine the Switch version is probably the best one to get if you're interested in it and haven't picked it up yet.
Mhm. So go pick it up, Lucas. Go let us know how it is.
It seems to have mostly good reviews, from what I can
Okay.
see in the Google search. You know, Steam reviews seem pretty high.
Yeah,
Very
it-
positive. 92%
That's
players
Oh.
like
I,
it.
I can't
So
see it
that's-
being a bad game.
Yeah. And it's not like it's sold poorly. It's good. Okay. So yeah, it's probably good. If it has 92% positivity on Steam, it's probably a great game. And
Yeah,
they
usually
talked
Steam's
about-
pretty trustworthy.
Yeah. And then they talked about Mario Golf Super Rush some more.
Yep, they
They
just
didn't really show off anything new though.
Yeah, it
They
just
kinda-
kind of seemed like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a thing still.
Makes
This is
sense that
going
they
away.
would mention
It's coming
it.
out very soon, yeah.
Yeah, it comes out later this month.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And then the only new thing we really saw is like that they were gonna get some free DLC, and one of those free DLCs is gonna be a New Donk City map.
Bizarre.
So that
Like,
looks
he
cool.
looked like that. No, it just looked weird, like the way he was like golfing in the streets.
I'm sure that's a very common thing in New York.
You know, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand
I
why
don't know
that's such
where
a hard
else you would
concept.
golf, you know? Where else would you go
I
from New
guess.
York? You'd have to go really far
Uh,
away.
They probably have like a
find
golf dome. Like,
course
probably have like indoor golf course somewhere.
somewhere. I would. Anyway, after Mario Golf, it was Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin again.
They showed us some stuff about
This
it.
stuff- yeah, this game is showing up everywhere, but this time they actually showed off gameplay.
Weird.
This was actually a
Finally.
overview gameplay trailer and not another story trailer.
Well,
looks fine.
that's good. But my opinion hasn't really changed on the game at all.
Nah. It looks fine.
Yeah.
I think it will be good. but I'm a bit more interested in Shin Megami Tensei 5 right now.
Is that our next?
Yes, it is.
Or-
Nope, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Oh, never mind.
No.
Nah, that's not till a little bit later. Next up is WarioWare. Yeah. Now this was another
Nick-
great announcement.
Yeah, the gimmick looks neato. Are you like
Yeah.
literally just playing as characters in minigames?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is actually a really cool gimmick, where how it is you can change your character, but the minigame will stay the same, but the character's movesets are all different.
Yeah, so they have to play them in different ways. That's
Yeah.
neat. That gives some replay. That definitely gives some replay value at least.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
it looks cool. Ashley looks really overpowered because
Yes.
she can fly around and shoot.
Yeah, and I saw like what was it, 18 volt or whatever he is.
Yeah.
He could just walk around and shoot.
Oh, he can only shoot
Or-
upwards with his yo-yo.
Or
Like
faster.
18 volt, like 9 volt can walk around. It's like skateboard around and shoot his yo-yo. 18 volt literally has to sit in place and throw game discs at things.
What? That's like the hard mode. Or man.
Yeah, it looks great though. Another game
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy. That looks good. And it has
Probably same.
co-op.
That would be fun.
Don't think it has online co-op though.
That's fine.
Yeah, that looked fantastic. Man, Nintendo is showing all these other companies how to actually do a fucking E3 presentation. Showing off actual video games and not fucking movies.
You know,
They
I'm
were
gonna be
showing off
real.
movies.
I don't think a lot of video games exist right now. I don't know how Nintendo did it, but I think the pandemic just fucked a lot of studios. I don't know how.
I mean, it did. Like, that's
Ninte-
true.
Nintendo's
but
has a pretty
it's-
crazy output. I'm impressed, but where all these
Yeah.
games come from?
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, most of the new announcements for Nintendo are coming out this year.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
Metroid Dread is coming out this year. WarioWare is coming out this year. Like, the new Mario Party is coming out this year. You know? It's like,
Yeah.
you look at Xbox and Bethesda, literally no gameplay. Like, almost no gameplay at all. And
Unless
nothing
Guardians
they
of the
showed off
Galaxy.
is, like, coming out this year. That was Square Enix.
Oh, that's Square Enix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying the other presentations.
Square Enix actually did show a good amount of gameplay. It's just none of the gameplay they showed off looked very good. You know, Square
Yeah.
Enix over here being like, I'm gonna kill chaos.
That was
I'm gonna-
awesome.
I'm here to kill chaos. Bring me chaos.
I'm going to kill him. I only know one thing. I need to kill chaos. It's not a want. I need to do it.
Kill
I'm excited
chaos.
for that game.
Hunger. Bring me chaos.
I can't wait for that game. That game is the best announcement of E3. Maybe unintentionally,
It really
but
was.
it is. That's what
It
I'll
was the
remember.
only fucking stupid meme moment of this E3.
Yeah. Nothing else. Even Ubisoft couldn't have anything that stupid.
Yeah. It
But
was literally the only meme from this E3.
tragic. What's our next Nintendo game then? Get back to a good presentation.
It was SMT5. Now we're on SMT5.
Okay.
Let's go.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So-
Like a Shin Megami Tensei game.
So I started Nocturne last night. Very good. I'm now looking forward to 5 a lot because that just
Yeah.
looks mostly like Nocturne, but bigger budget and
Yeah. For the
20
most part,
years.
it looks very similar to previous SMT games. I know 4 was like on the 3DS, and so that kind of caused a lot of like limitations to some extent. Or was that only the re-release of 4? It's on the 3DS.
no, 4 is only on 3DS.
Okay, it's
3DS
only on
exclusive.
3DS. Okay.
To be fair, before 4, the last main series entry was a PS2 game, so
Yeah.
there hasn't been a big budget SMT game really. I like really I think 3 was probably like the last one, unless you want to count the Persona games.
Yeah.
Like
The only
Like-
major difference gameplay-wise, it seems like, outside of maybe some like bigger environments than usual, is that the enemies are now visible on the overworld
yeah, that's neat.
as opposed to random
That's a nice
encounters,
touch.
which is a cool change. Especially since
This is-
now you can like just some
Yeah.
enemies will just be like completely, you know, what is it, passive, and you can just talk to them. You don't even find out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's a mechanic in Nocturne where in the top left of your screen there was like a number out of 8 where it was like I think it's like the position of the sun or something
Yeah.
where it determines how aggressive monsters are, like how likely they are to join you, and it looks like that mechanic's back.
Yep, it does look like it's back.
This is cribbing a lot from Nocturne as well, like post-apocalyptic.
Well, all the-
like, I don't know if it's Tokyo, but somewhere in Japan.
This is Tokyo, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, it is Tokyo again.
Yeah, all the Shin Megami Tensei games, for the most part, take place in the apocalypse. Like,
Oh,
in
yeah.
Tokyo. Like, 4 also
Yeah.
does that. Environments remind me a lot of 4, because, well, I haven't played 4. The one thing I, like, know about 4 is the big Tokyo desert destroyed post-apocalyptic landscape, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what they showed off a lot of this one.
Yeah. They're pretty consistent with the main entries, I suppose, although it's been a while since the last one. Their spin-offs get wacky, though, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
I'll have
does
to
look really good.
check this out because I know I haven't had much to say on it, but this game does look cool.
Man, I still need to play Persona 5. I like how Shin Megami Tensei does Roman numerals and Persona does, you know, just regular numbers.
Yeah, it allows
Huh.
them to decipher which.
I like how somehow Persona has overtaken the game that it was a spin-off of in
Oh,
terms of
yeah.
popularity, pretty much. It's shocking. They
Surprised
dropped
we
yes.
didn't see a Persona 4 Golden port announced, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Considering that got a Steam re-release, makes sense to bring it to Switch.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm surprised that's not coming.
Sega is
Huh.
slow. When it
They
comes to
can be, they can be.
re-releases, to an extent. They're getting better.
They're trying.
I think they finally like realized, oh, this actually makes money.
Yeah,
Huh.
the entire Yakuza series is on Xbox and Steam now.
And now
doing
they're
pretty
just
alright.
like, now they're trying to catch up to the shit they've been
Yeah.
like, sitting on for the last decade. It's just like, you know, maybe we should just actually re-release our stuff so people can
And the
buy
ports haven't been bad. They've been pretty
them.
alright.
Hopefully we'll get Jet Set Radio Future someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a Burning Rangers port, but that's even less likely.
Well, speaking of ports, the next thing showed off was the Danganronpa collection.
Yeah, I finally have an excuse to actually go finish third one.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to see this on Switch. It's one of those things where it's like, what? This wasn't already on Switch? Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
But additionally, there's like a whole other game in here that they're just making. Like,
Yeah. So it's
fun.
the collection is the first 3 games, and then one of the mini games from I think it was 3 is getting expanded and being like set as its own separate game in the collection.
Yeah.
So
I think all the games had like a post-game thing where it was just like a goofy slice of life thing, but they're all pretty small scale. I think this one specifically is an expansion of 3's like post-game goofy slice of
Yeah.
life stuff.
Right.
But it looks like it has like every character, so
yeah,
wonderful.
that's why they're expanding it on. But yeah, but so how it is the physical version is the collection with all of 3 games and the extra 4th game, but you can buy each one separately on the eShop.
It's actually nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you only want like V3 or whatever, you can just get
Cool.
V3.
I won't have to rebuy 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right. And most importantly, Komida has a new white
Although
jacket.
I don't know if it's gonna be one of those things where it's like the Mega Man Legacy Collection, where they
Yeah.
give you one of them on the card and then the other one you have to download. I hope they don't do that, where they just give you Danganronpa 1 and then 2, 3, and the mini game thing you also have to download. I hope they
Yeah.
don't do that. I hope they're
I
all
hope
3 of
they
them on
don't.
the card.
Yeah. That would be weird. You know, I'm gonna hold it because like when they did the 1 and 2 collection, those were both on the disc. So I'll give them some faith.
Yeah. It's only because it's a Switch cartridge, and I've seen other companies do that, pull that shit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
These games fit on the Vita pretty snugly. Like, yeah, 1 and 2 got
Yeah.
I think a 1-disc release on Vita, so I think I
Hopefully
think
they
Switch can
don't.
hopefully handle it.
I mean, like, that's the thing, though, because, like, Mega Man Legacy Collection and stuff, both of those games could easily fit onto the game cartridge,
Yeah.
you know?
Weird.
And they didn't do it.
Hmm.
And the worst part is, for both that one and the X Collection, they put the, like, bigger game that you had to download.
That's so
And the smaller
weird.
game was on the cartridge.
Why?
Because they're assholes.
That's so strange.
I mean,
But
we didn't even talk about Capcom's E3 presentation at all, because there was literally nothing to talk about.
yeah, we got a gameplay trailer for a visual novel. That was something. But then after the presentation, they explained how fighting games worked.
Yeah.
That was fascinating. Like, the guy literally said you have to drop their health bar down to 0. It's like,
That's literally what they said.
really?
Yeah.
I think anyone watching E3 knows that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's like explaining somebody how competitive Pokemon works. It's like, okay, the goal is to kill all the other person's Pokemon.
Yes, it's like, really?
It's like, that's how you win Pokemon. You gotta get all the opponent's Pokemon HP down to 0.
Yeah. But, Danganronpa being on Switch, though, that means we could finally get a Danganronpa rep in Smash. Finally.
Oh yeah.
I'm rooting for Komida.
It's just gonna be a Mii costume to go along with the Sans Mii costume. But
That
the
would be
actual Smash character is going to be Kanye West.
Yes! Finally. Have an orchestral rendition of Fingers in His Ass by Kanye West.
What the fuck?
Google it.
I don't think I want to.
Look up, Google Sans Komida Kanye and have your life be changed forever.
Oh god.
You know, now a Komida Mii costume is like, I want that now. That's like the only thing that could be as stupid as Sans.
It would be really good.
It would be very funny. Now I gotta go make a Kanye Mii while I'm
It
at
comes
that.
with
But...
Asgore's theme. It doesn't come with Danganronpa music. It comes with more Undertale music.
I mean, I think everyone would be down for that.
Yeah.
Or Undertale music. What was her next game?
Well, the next game fulfilled our Wii U port quota. We got
Oh!
what was it? Fatal Frame.
Fatal
Fatal
Frame.
Frame,
Made in with Blackwater. Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Spooky
it's
ass
so
game.
nice to see this off of Wii U.
Did you ever
Want
play
to
it
play
on the
this.
Wii U?
I played the demo. I never bought.
Okay.
I never bought the full game because, I think my Wii U account was a age locked because I got a Wii U when I was pretty young,
Right.
pretty old now actually.
so I don't think I could ever buy it off the eShop. And physically, it was like impossible to get. They released it physically in the US, I believe, but it was just like stupidly rare.
Right.
So it's very nice to see this on Switch.
Yeah.
I'd like to see one for like 1, 2, and 3 maybe get like a release, but just having 4 is good enough.
Yeah. All they said, they didn't announce the release date, but they did say it was coming this year, so I wouldn't be too surprised if it was another October game.
It would be
Probably,
perfect timing. It's a spooky ass game. Like,
Yeah.
I remember from playing the demo for 4, one of the neat gimmicks was, you know, you actually the TV was always third person and the gamepad was your camera. So,
Right.
I mean, the game could still work fine.
It's one of those things where,
screen.
even if you think, oh, this game needs the Wii U gamepad, it never needed the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah, 1 through 3 are fine without the gamepad.
Any
It's just
game that
that
needed the Wii U gamepad, holded the game back.
that's not true. Nintendo Land.
That's the one exception. Everything else, like look at Star Fox Zero. That game was held back by the Wii U gamepad.
That they forced that too hard.
They did.
No, that game would. There are games
Exactly,
that use the
that's why it was
gamepad more
held
than
back. Anyway.
You know, I'm trying to think of other. I'm happy to say this. I'll probably pick it up. Awesomeness.
After Fatal Frame, they showed off the DLC for Doom Eternal coming to Switch. Yep.
Nice.
oh yeah, Doom
Never got around to
Eternal. That's
playing
right.
Yep.
It's on Switch. Yeah, it's already out. How's that run?
I don't know.
Probably
I'm
okay.
curious.
It's just one
I
of
know
those
Doom
things where it's like,
2016 ran pretty badly on Switch. Like,
yeah, it's
Where's the
cool
late-
to have Doom portably and stuff, but it's also one of those things where it's like, why would I ever want to play Doom on anything other than a keyboard and mouse?
I genuinely don't think I could beat Eternal on a controller. That game is insane.
Yeah.
Like, Eternal's up there with like one of the hardest first-person shooters I've ever played.
Yeah.
Doom 2016, I could hold that controller. That game's easy.
Yeah.
I almost beat that game a nightmare.
Nah, you're not good.
No, yeah, I did. I got to like the last level. I just kind of got bored because it just.
See, this game, he's so good at the game that he got bored playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played
That happens
2016
all the
before.
time. That happens to me with Dark
2016 is
Souls.
really easy. So they
I'll
took
play
that to
like
heart of
5
Eternal.
playthroughs of Dark Souls in a row, and then I'll get bored.
2016 gets repetitive towards the end. I love Doom 2016, but it's once you have every weapon and stuff, it's kind of just okay. Now go to this room and kill all the demons. Okay, now go to this room and kill all the demons. It's like it doesn't change.
It
But
doesn't
Eternal.
end.
No, Eternal.
Eternal doesn't
Fix.
It's a vicious cycle, guys. I can't.
And then Eternal just is the hardest thing ever, even on Hurt Me Plenty. It'll fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Right.
And I hear Old Gods is even more brutally difficult, so be excited to play that on a Switch.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get around to playing Doom. It's just like, never had the time to. It's not. I never.
short. 2016 is less than 10 hours.
I just feel like I say this about a lot of games, though. There's just like so many games out there that I would love to get around to playing. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And Doom's
I
one of
could
a
them.
beat
lot of
2016 in
gamers
one
are.
sitting if you really wanted to. It's a good game. Go play it.
Okay. Now you convinced me.
Play it.
We gotta end the podcast
I know.
now. I gotta go play it.
You go rip off imps' heads with your hands. It's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, we spent a lot of time talking about Doom.
Yeah.
Console
We
that
did.
no one will ever play it on. After Doom Eternal, they showed off. What was it? Tony Hawk. One or two remakes.
Yes.
You know what? I'd like to play that portably. You know, the nice little 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
That'll work well. That'll work well on Switch. I'd play that.
All
Already
right.
own it on
Why would you want to
PS4.
play this on your Switch when you could play Crayola Scoot?
Is that a real game?
Yeah, that's a real game.
Huh.
It's a Splatoon Tony Hawk polymerization game made by Crayola.
You know, I'd say it was bad, but Crayola has a pretty solid track record. Like, Drawn to Life is amazing. So maybe Crayola Scoot is also okay.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Anyway, after Tony Hawk, it was this weird Egyptian game. I think it was called Strange Brigade.
This looked like...
Oh yeah,
this
that's
game didn't look
right.
real. This game looked like a fake video game.
It did kind of look like a fake video game.
Reminded me of, like... Geez, was there like a Wii U game they announced that was just like this?
Probably.
Like 100 years ago? I can't remember.
It was
its
like a
name.
million years ago, actually.
It
yes,
looked
too.
weird. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too mean to it. And then they showed off Mario and Rabbids again.
Yep.
They didn't really tell us anything new, though. It was just
I think we saw a little bit of footage we didn't see, but...
yeah, a little bit. But for the most part, it was just telling us stuff that they already said at the Ubisoft showcase. But you know, they have to say it again here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is one of the filler announcements, you know, they can't all be hits or else...
I mean, this was a big announcement. It was just a big announcement that happened like 3 days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But after that was a big announcement, and in the same genre, no less. It was Advanced Wars
Oh yeah.
1 and 2.
They're getting a reboot.
Reboot Camp, which is a brilliant pun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks nice. I really like the toy aesthetic. That's really
Yeah,
fun.
it's being made by Way Forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the look of all of WayForward's games, so okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. They're getting Way
Um,
Forward to do it because Intelligent Systems is too busy making
I ain't got
more Fire
time for
Emblem
that.
games. I imagine they're too busy making more Fire Emblem games. So they got
That's
Way Forward
fair.
to do
Fire
that
Emblem brings in the moolah.
to an
If it
extent.
ain't broken, and they don't fix it.
But this
I
does
wouldn't
actually
say to
look
an
really great.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the last Advance Wars games? I think
It
was
forever
DS.
ago. Yeah.
and like early DS.
Yeah, like first year it came out.
And this is coming out December 3rd.
Yep.
This is their December
Yep.
game.
And they actually started pre-orders today.
Yeah.
Actually, December is a weird time to release a game because that's not holiday. Holiday would be November, so you can get Black Friday. That's like
No,
post Black Friday.
no. December's a holiday. Christmas.
No, holiday shopping is Black Friday.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Christmas,
But it
most
goes
Christmas
on
shopping happens in Black.
until Christmas, though.
Yeah, but
yeah.
But this isn't
It's just-
really like, you know, this is just coming out December.
No, this is
because it has
definitely
to
holiday
purchase
if they're doing
December.
pre-orders, because you just get it on December 3rd. You would just have it
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you pre-ordered it.
Anyway, it looks good. I might get it.
Might not.
Depends on the price. If it's $40,
Yeah.
then 100%. If it's like 60,
Maybe.
maybe.
Hard
Or-
maybe.
GBA game. I mean, it's a full-on remake.
It's
still.
1 and 2. It's also got to. It's a full-on remake, and it's a full-on remake of both the first two games.
Yeah.
So-
hmm.
Yeah, like I said, $40 for sure. 50 maybe, 60 maybe if I ever get it
Nah.
on sale. You know,
Yeah.
either way, it looks great, and it's
Yeah.
a big plus for Advance War fans.
Are there any left? Are they all? Did they all die because it's been so long?
Nah, they came back.
Okay. Okay.
It's like the 2D Metroid fans. They rose from their
Oh.
graves
Ones that have just been playing Axiom
to
Verge.
haunt the living.
Yeah, they're just playing Axiom Verge.
Yeah.
Rose from the
what was
grave
after-
to give the living haircuts.
What was after?
After that, it was the Breath of the... No, not Breath of the Wild. It was the,
Age of Calamity expansion
DLC.
pass. Yep.
Yeah, I just want to call it Breath of the Wild because it's, you know...
It's prequel.
Yep. Which which is called Pulse of the Ancients. Which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Nice little DLC name.
You have, like hookshot nunchucks.
They were like Guardian nunchucks. But you could play as a guardian.
Yeah. Oh, and
It's
yes.
called a flail.
Which
And Zelda was the one riding the
that
motorcycle.
wasn't really a flail because it was like
No,
two-sided.
they called it a flail.
Okay, did they? Huh, weird.
Yeah.
And Zelda was riding the motorcycle.
Yes. And then
Awesome.
somebody, yeah.
So
No,
I imagine
no, the
Zelda
motorcycle-
with the motorcycle is gonna play like Dante with the motorcycle from DMC5.
Just picks it up and like splits it in half and uses it as clubs.
Yeah.
All right. He revs it on enemies'
Yeah.
faces.
That'd be pretty cool,
You know-
Yeah.
If they can have a motorcycle, how come they don't have any guns?
though. No, I got it now. It's a cross between Dante with the motorcycle, and then she uses them like arms. Like that one character in Arms that's in Smash. She just uses them to extend
Yeah.
and hit people. She could curve her attacks now,
That could work.
but she's only locked
Sounds
on.
wonderful.
She's locked on to what's in front of her, though.
I'll be real, a motorcycle sounds pretty broken in a Muso game when you could just...
Just
Those
run
are
over
usually
people.
pretty big. So
Hey.
you just get to whatever
Yeah, and you
objective like instantly.
That was definitely one downside from Age of Calamity, in my opinion, is like the fact that you had to run everywhere and the maps were huge.
That's just kind of a fault of the genre.
Yeah, that's kind of in almost every Muso game.
I mean,
But in other Muso games, you usually will get a horse. Like I'm
Like
pretty
Dynasty
sure most
Warriors
Muso
and
games, you
and-
get a horse, and the horse will drastically increase your movement speed. They could have done that in Breath of the Wild, not Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity. You know, they could have given you got your horse. There's horses in Breath of the Wild. I only assume that they didn't want to make horse riding animations for all of the characters.
Yeah, some of their body shapes are weird. Like making
You know,
a
it would,
Goron
it would
riding
look
a horse.
weird with Daruk wearing.
well,
doing
they should
what-
just
but
not have
Daruk
those
could just-
characters.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but Daruk could like roll up in a ball and like roll and roll really fast, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what they should do. And then instead of having like Mifa and I forget the other dude.
And Mifa could ride a horse.
Yeah, she's close enough to.
I know, but you gotta
Yeah.
use her like water type advantage to her ability, like to her advantage.
Yeah.
She becomes a fish. She could swim.
Is a fish.
She can swim.
Yeah.
She's a fish
She could have
person.
had her like surf in a tidal wave or something.
Like
That
the
would've
other guy,
been
he
goofy.
surfs. He surfs on a shark.
I mean, I get why it would have been a lot of work to add in like some sort of sprint mechanic for each character.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
if you say give Link a horse, then you have to. But you could make it like simplify it where it's just Link summons Epona and then gets on Epona and then goes. But then you have to have
Yeah.
mounted horse combat. You know,
That's
if you
true.
give Link a horse, and then he'd
But
have
who
to
doesn't-
do it for each of his 3 weapons. You know.
But I mean, hey, horse combat. Everyone loves that. Remember that Twilight Princess reveal? That
Yeah.
famous image. I think it's IGN or sitting on the couch cheering. That was
Yeah.
from showing horseback combats in Twilight Princess. So just look how excited people get when they see that.
I mean, other Muso games, have horseback combat, but also Muso games also have like entire humanoid casts, and the horseback combat is usually pretty basic for all of them. It's just kind of attack to the side of you.
You know, Koei
It's no.
Tecmo wanted to, before they made Hyrule Warriors, they went to Nintendo, they wanted to make a Pokemon Muso game, which still sounds interesting. I kind of
That could
like
work.
to see that.
The problem is, what would you be fighting? Like other Pokemon, of course.
Probably,
And
yeah.
it just feels
Hordes
weird
and
thinking of-
hordes of Bidoofs.
Yeah, like say you're playing as like Greninja, and then you're just murdering hundreds of Bidoofs. Or
Yeah, that sounds
Pikachus or
wonderful.
something.
I don't know. Bidoof's kind of innocent in my opinion.
That's why it'd be funny.
Let's just have them murder a bunch of Jigglypuffs. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Jigglypuff would be playable.
Jigglypuff is is evil.
Yes, I agree.
Like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy would always say, "Evil."
Oh, it wasn't a bad Ernest Borgnine. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, after Age of Calamity DLC, they talked a little bit about Skyward Sword.
Yep.
Nothing new, of course.
They're just telling us to buy it.
They're just
basically.
reminding us to, hey, don't forget to buy it, okay?
Yeah, this is coming
Comes
out.
out in
I
July.
wanna play Skyward Sword, but they're making me really not want to.
I just found it so funny how
I
they
don't
had to
want to play
show.
Skyward Sword. I'm not getting it.
They had to
I'd
show.
love to replay it, but I'm not dishing out $60 for that.
Hell no.
They had to. They
If
had
I
to.
wanted to replay it, I could play it right now. You know?
True.
So I'm not buying it again.
I love how they had
I
to
don't even want
show.
to replay it.
I love how they had to show the person using motion controls in the
Yeah.
motion
Yeah.
control part.
Like, you don't know what motion controls are or how
Yeah.
that would work.
Oh, that was great. But yeah,
Reminding
moving
you
on.
with peace and love that this game can be played with both motion controls and not motion controls.
Yes. Although, Skyward Sword's motion controls are, I mean, they can kind of get annoying sometimes, but also, it's like half of what makes the combat fun.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I'd like it half as much of a stick, because then I don't feel like I'm whacking people with a sword as much.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to play it, but
So next, they acknowledged Zelda's 35th anniversary this year, and they showed off the Zelda Game & Watch, which is similar to the Mario Game & Watch they had last year, except this one's way better because it has 3 Zelda games, plus a Game & Watch reskin to look
Yeah.
like Zelda. You know? Which
this looks really
there
cool.
is a actual Game & Watch Zelda game, but they didn't put that in there.
There was?
Yeah. It came
Weird.
out, like, I want to say, sometime after Zelda 1, but before Link's Awakening. I don't remember exactly, but there was a Zelda Game & Watch, yeah.
Weird.
But that's not in this.
What?
Missed
Oh, yeah.
opportunity. It's probably because
Another
that,
miss-
I'm pretty sure, was a dual screen Game & Watch
Oh.
that utilized both screens, and that's probably why. But this one has Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening in it. The Game Boy version.
Although, yeah, why did they pick the Game Boy version when the Game Boy Color version is right there? That I think even adds stuff.
It does. It adds a whole dungeon. But probably
Yeah.
for authenticity, although they should have went with the color version.
Yeah. I'm not trying to play DX. Yeah, bizarre.
Anyway, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly. And they did actually acknowledge Zelda's 35th anniversary, which leads me to believe that they're not actually doing anything else for Zelda.
That's fine. We don't need another Hyrule Historia.
No, not really. But they didn't bother to acknowledge Metroid's anniversary. Even though they could have and just been like, it's Metroid's anniversary. Here's a new Metroid game. And that's all they needed to do, you know. Like, I feel like that's all any time you really need to do for, like, a game anniversary is just like, here's a new game. We put
The more
an
anniversaries they
anniversary
acknowledge.
logo in the corner, you know?
If they acknowledged Metroid, then they'd also need to start acknowledging Kid Icarus and Punch Out, which they won't do.
They don't need to acknowledge all of them. But if you're coming out with a new game that's coming out the same year as a major anniversary anyway, you might as well label it as a 35th anniversary title, you know?
You know what? They'll do what Sonic Adventure 2 did, where it says, like, well, Sonic Adventure 2, what was it, like, 5th or 10th anniversary or something? It just says it at the end of the credits. Metroid Dread will do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess because they didn't want to hire somebody to design an anniversary logo. I mean, like, that's what Mega Man did with Mega Man 11. That was labeled as a 30th anniversary title for Mega Man.
To be fair, 11 was intentionally, like, a throwback game, to an extent.
Not really.
And Dread actually...
11 was very much not a throwback game, since the last 2 mainline Mega Man games were, and 11 was nothing like them. 11 was very clearly trying to be the next step forward for mainline Mega Man. With its modern graphics and new mechanics.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Except for that one part. You know that one part.
I don't actually know that one part, but...
Everybody knows. It's okay. The actual truth in that statement was there is no one part that I'm referring to specifically, but everyone who's listening to this, who's played that game, will think of a different one part.
And everybody will know at that point about that one part.
They'll know which one part they're thinking of. So yeah. Game and Watch Zelda looks neat. And then they ended
We're
it
gonna be able
on-
to get that.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
gonna be
kind of
scale-
want it. You know? I'm like debating, it's like, should I even bother trying? It's gonna be basically impossible. It's
Yeah.
cool though, and I kind of want it. Just like, do I try? Do I make the attempt? Do I go for it? I'm actually
know.
surprised by how much of the Mario Anniversary stuff I managed to get.
Really?
Yeah, I got both of the pin sets.
Oh, nice.
I got the Splatoon Mario Splatfest shirt.
Nice.
What else did I get? I think that was it.
All right.
Unless I'm forgetting something. No, I think that was it. And I
Yeah.
bought the
Breath of the
game.
Wild 2.
Yeah, but Breath of the Wild too. They finally
This
showed
looks
it off.
like they got Skyward Sword stuff going on in this one.
Sorta.
You,
There's big
you can
islands
fall,
floating
and there's
around.
big islands.
Zelda fell down a pit, presumably died,
Mm-hmm.
And then
and then
Link grew out his hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zelda
he
cut
got
his
suppressed
hair.
after Zelda died.
Yeah,
No, he
well,
got
Zelda
suppressed
cut
after
her
Zelda
hair,
died.
so Link grew his out.
Ah.
Reverse psychology.
Not really, but anyway.
What? Yeah, it's reverse. It's not reverse psychology. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, but you could turn into goop and like reverse gravity or something.
There seems to be a lot of reversal stuff. Like there's reverse gravity stuff, there's reverse time stuff. Like one of the new things they showed off was like a stasis, but this time it makes it travel, the item that you stasis will travel backwards in time.
Interesting. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, the way they just showed it off looked pretty cool.
You know, where like the item will revert to a previous state.
Sounds
go
fun.
backwards. And they showed
You know-
like going through the ground up in a big floating
Yeah,
platform.
gooped.
So what I'm assuming they're doing with this game is it's the same map as Breath of the Wild, but they added a
You
bunch of
think?
floating islands everywhere.
Hmm.
It's very clearly the same Hyrule, and they said they were going to be reusing the map. It seems to be modified in the sense that there is now a bunch of floating islands. So there's obviously
Okay.
going to be even more verticality in this game.
Cool. More climbing.
Yeah.
My thing is, Breath of the Wild has a ton of super cool mechanics that like have a ton of depth. But once you kind of get into the game, you're not really encouraged to use a lot of them.
To an
Like,
extent.
just you can probably have better results by just running in there and hitting them with whatever weapon you have.
Yeah. I mean, it
than
depends
being
on like
fast.
what phase of the game you're in, and it depends on like the specific location you're in, because like
Yeah.
you know, if you're in a place that has lots of water, it is useful to use electricity, weapons, and use the ice block ability,
Yeah.
for traversal.
Cryonesis.
Yeah. And there's lots
But-
of things you can do just to do them, and it's really cool how all the systems work together. But I do agree with you that just putting
It's like
on
the
heavy
Grand Plateau
armor-
is the peak of the game. When you have like
Yeah.
nothing and you just have to kind of be creative by taking out enemies with just the items you have, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like Snake Eater.
But yeah, once you get further into the game, the further you go, the problem will essentially increase. That every combat scenario can just be solved by putting on heavy armor, using your best weapon, or maybe not even your best weapon, maybe just an okay weapon. Honestly,
Yeah.
use your worst weapon, because that way you're not wasting your good stuff on lame enemies.
Yeah, that's true.
And then just stuffing your face full of food and hoarding as many big food items as you can, and you're basically invincible. It's just one of those things where early game you have to be cautious because you only have 3 hit points, no armor. Everything will kill you in 2 to 3 hits. Something
Yeah.
will kill you in 1 hit. And
But
the
you have a
further
ton of
you
ways
go
to
in the
approach
game,
everything.
the more invincible you become, And then once you get into like the late game, you just become completely invincible. Nothing can harm you. There is no threat anymore, you know?
Pretty much.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's kind of how I felt, where it's just like, okay, I've done everything. I'm fucking invincible. There's no way I can die, you know?
To be fair, you did do like every shrine.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even necessarily like a problem with the game design, because in theory, like if you like basically complete the game, you should, effectively be invincible, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I just
But-
kind of my only big problem with the mechanics in Breath of the Wild is simply that armor is a bit too OP and doesn't really work great with how it's mechanically programmed into the game. I could explain why, but it's like a whole thing. I'd have to go into all the math and.
Yeah, let's just skip it.
But my other problem is just healing is too easy to get and is too powerful. Like in other Zelda
Yeah.
games, in order to have a healing item, you have to get a bottle, and you have to use a bottle for the potion, you know? And like you're only given like 4 bottles, and that's if you get all of them.
Yeah, I think they could probably just do
Zelda
something
games,
like
you only
food.
get one main bottle, and every other one is optional. And you have to do side quests and shit to get them. And that means you only get like 4 healing items. You do get the recovery hearts just from like cutting grass and stuff.
Yeah.
You still have to go out of your way, and those are still limited when you're in like dungeons and stuff.
I think I'd like the compromise if it was just, you could get like 4 or 5 bottles that could be pretty easily refilled.
Yeah.
And then they still have all the cooking that maybe, but the cooking would only give you just buffs. Like all the other like same buffs would probably be fine.
What I think they should have went with is like they should have went with a hunger bar, like how Minecraft has. I think they should have stolen the healing and hunger system from Minecraft, because that way, even if you eat food in the middle of the fight by pausing the game, you still have to wait for your health to then regen.
Yeah, that's true. Instead of
You know?
instantaneous
I
5
think
hearts
If you
regen
back.
health
wanted
would be-
instant healing, you'd have to use potions for that.
Yeah.
And that would make you more inclined to actually bother to brew potions, which is something I almost never did.
Yep,
Because I could get
same
all
here.
the same benefits from the potions in that game
From the food.
from food. So there's no reason to bother with the potion mechanic. You know? Of like making like
That's actually
potions.
that's a good point.
I'm just worried that a hunger meter could get really annoying with just how much wandering
whole-
around you do in that game.
The whole point of that game is to, explore the landscape. I mean, I don't see how exploring the world in Breath of the Wild is really any different than exploring the world in Minecraft. The only difference is in Minecraft you set up farms and stuff, but in Breath of the Wild, there's food sources fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the amount of food,
Yeah.
even if I'd have to consume food more often to, like, just replenish hunger and stuff, because it wouldn't affect your stamina gauge, it would just be a hunger bar, and it would only become a nuisance if you let it go
but
all the way down. And
You
then you're,
still
like,
had to
starving.
open up the menu to eat food. That adds up. Like in Minecraft, you have
I
the
don't
hot
know.
bar.
That's true.
So,
I don't know. They could like fix it by having it so that you could put a food like in a quick select and then just press it to automatically eat it. You know?
I don't know. I don't know if Breath of the Wild 2 will make changes though. I'm
I
curious.
doubt
if
it
will.
will. I just think that would be a way to fix that specific issue of
Yeah.
healing being obscenely overpowered.
Yeah. Be cool if they did something like that.
Was there anything after Breath
Like,
of the
I'm
Wild?
not even saying like that's the correct thing that they should do. I'm just saying that would be how I would
A
approach
solution,
that issue.
yeah.
And it's a possible solution. That I take an example directly from a game that does a very similar thing to Breath of the Wild and does it very well.
Yeah.
So was there anything after Breath of the Wild 2 aside from the treehouse?
Nope. Breath of the Wild 2 was the last thing. There wasn't
Okay,
any
I couldn't
one
remember.
more thing.
Any other thoughts on Breath of the Wild 2?
Uh,
Any other hopes about it?
I think it looks good. I kind of wish they showed off more of it, though. And they went into further detail explaining a bit of it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, go
what
ahead.
I wish they spent like after they showed off the trailer, they spent a few minutes actually talking about it and explaining a few of the things and what we can expect to see. Like they don't have to spoil everything, of course. I just kind of wish they spent a little more than a minute and 30 seconds on Breath of the Wild.
I
you
think
know?
we got all we need. Like, we know what kind of game it's going to be. It's going to have the same basic gameplay loop. It's going to be an open world game. Like, I think all we needed to see was some basic story hooks and some of the new items, which we saw. I don't think we needed an explanation, really.
That's true. I still would have liked to see a little bit more.
Yeah,
It just
same
felt like
here.
it went by so fast. It was such a short trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, even if they just spent longer showing us the things, so I could get a better look at it.
But how,
I
what
just
is
wish we saw
like,
a little bit more.
what are the YouTube channels going to overanalyze?
They can still overanalyze. They're still doing that.
That's true.
They're gonna
That's
yeah,
true.
they're gonna do it
Like
anyways.
I said, I just wish it was like a 2 to 2.5 minute trailer as opposed to a 1.5 minute trailer. All I'm asking for is an extra 30 seconds of
yeah,
footage.
yeah. How hard could that be?
Yeah. I know. Do you want to talk about any of the gameplay stuff they showed off in the treehouse?
Well,
What do you
I
feel
did
like
not watch it. I did not sit
I
there for
watched
3
it
hours.
for the most part.
Was there any announcements? Because they did that
There
last...
wasn't any announcements. They showed off a lot of footage of Metroid Dread. It looks really good.
Okay. I don't think I
Um,
need to see any more footage of that. I think I have to just...
Yeah, they
I'll
actually
buy
had
it.
2 different 20-minute segments. There was like a
Wow.
22-minute segment and a 24-minute segment. One at the beginning and one at the end of the treehouse.
Huh.
For Metroid Dread. And then they showed off... I know they showed off some Mario Party, and then they showed off some Advance
Okay.
Wars, and they showed off...
Alright.
What else did they show off? I know it was those 3. So there was something else. Oh, they showed off Monster Hunter Stories. They showed off like gameplay.
Oh, No More
nice.
Heroes 3, didn't you say earlier?
Yes, and they had a No More Heroes 3 Treehouse segment, but that wasn't connected to the 3-hour long Treehouse segment. That was like a separate thing that they uploaded after the Treehouse was over. I guess because that game's rated M.
Yeah, that would make sense.
it's
They would
like
do stuff for
a bit more violent, so they didn't want to put it in the main live stream, and so they put it in a separate upload.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But they also
Well, they
did
still
do a
had
gameplay
rating
segment.
pendant to M.
Yeah, well, that's because they also did a gameplay segment for SMT5, and that's rated M.
Okay, SMT5 probably rated M more for heavy themes and like nudity and shit.
Yeah,
Half those demons have nips. Crap.
yeah, exactly. But they also, that was another thing they showed off in the treehouse was Shin Megami Tensei 5. They showed off 20 minutes of the
Nice.
So that
You know,
was-
I think I know exactly what to expect from it,
yeah,
so
But
I don't know if I'll check it out.
I still like the fact that Nintendo actually bothered to do a big gameplay showcase for their
Yeah.
games,
Oh yeah.
unlike other studios.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
I like the Treehouse's approach to that. It's like, okay, you get all the trailers, and if you want more details, go watch the Treehouse.
Yeah.
Which I like that format.
Overall thoughts on the Nintendo Direct?
I mean, it's
like
kind of the best one.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the best direct ever, but it was pretty good. Solid.
Yeah.
I don't-
yeah. Pretty much agreeing with what you just said, Black Chestnut
Uh,
and Ricola. Like, I like how
I was
they.
consistently like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like how they went with the mostly gameplay footage instead of actual just movies. But and what going with what you said, I like how they, even though I didn't watch it, I like how they put the trailers. And if you want more or want to watch more, check out the clubhouse or the treehouse after.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Another thing they showed off in the treehouse was Mario Golf. They
Oh,
showed
nice.
off like the single player for that,
Of course.
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I'd be shocked at that one.
As for my overall thoughts on the direct, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty great. Everything, you know what's funny? Almost everything they did show off, I like expected, to an extent.
Yeah.
They didn't show off everything that I expected. Like I expected that we would see the new Kirby game that Hal's working on, and I expected that we would see a bit more of Splatoon 3. And we didn't get that.
How far off is Splatoon 3?
It's not till next year. But I just
Okay.
thought that they might show like another 1 to 2 minute trailer, like hinting at like some single player stuff. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know, figuring since what I thought they would do with Splatoon is just like drip feed us things in every single direct for it, you know, and then have a big blowout Splatoon direct right before the game comes out. Because that's usually what they do with Splatoon. Is that it'll be in like every like direct, and they'll give us a little bit of more information. You know, it's like here's a single player thing. It's like, oh, here's a new co-op thing. You know,
Here's the thing.
drip feed us little informations and stuff. It wasn't here, which is a little disappointing, but you know, it's
I
not
don't.
like the
Yeah,
end
I
of
don't
the
think it
world,
needed to be
you
there
know?
because it wouldn't have been a big announcement, and they had enough like filler trailers all ready for
Yeah.
a bunch of
But
stuff.
what I overall feel about this direct is lots of new announcements, which I really, really liked. Everything new that they showed off, I absolutely loved. Like, I love the new WarioWare. I love the new Metroid.
Yeah.
SMT5, we finally getting a good look at that. That looks great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this was the first real big blowout for Shin Megami Tensei 5, even though the first time we saw it was at, like, before the Switch came out with the big
Yeah.
Switch presentation.
Yeah.
And then we saw it again
That was a
in,
long.
like,
Oh.
a partner showcase direct last year.
And that just like showed like a student walking.
Yeah, and that was just like a teaser trailer. That just showed off the protagonist. It didn't really show us anything else. This was a big blow.
And not the cool version of the protagonist where they get blue flowing hair and a morph suit. Like, oh, look at Mary. You know, it's probably still one of the better looking SMT protagonists, though. They all look pretty goofy.
Yeah, but like, how I felt about the direct overall is all the new announcements were amazing. I kind of wished for the updates and stuff that was already previously announced, there was a bit more of that. And that we saw more of it. Honestly, I felt the direct was a little short, even though it was like 40 minutes long. It was actually only like 38 minutes, but...
Yeah, whatever.
You know, like I said,
it was well paced.
Actually,
it was short because it was well paced.
Yeah, I just wish this was an extra 2 minutes longer. You know, a little bit more Breath of the Wild. You know, maybe a
that's still like over a year off though, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like how much Breath of the Wild is there? Like, yeah, like how much can they show off?
But they did give us a release window for Breath of the Wild being next year.
Yeah.
Which we hadn't got before. They said they're aiming for next year release, so who knows if it'll get canceled in 2023.
Well,
although I'm suspecting it's gonna be the 2022 like November title.
Yeah, that's gonna be their holiday season title.
Yeah, because Splatoon 3 will probably come out before that, I feel like.
Splatoon 3 will probably be summer.
Yeah.
That'll be their big AAA summer game.
Yeah, and they also didn't show off No More Heroes 3 at all. I thought we would see like one more trailer for that before that comes out, because that's coming out soon.
We've seen like 4 trailers for that at this point, haven't we?
Yeah, but
I don't think they happen. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Overall, this direct was great, though, and I'm happy with everything that was announced.
Yeah, really, really, really good success on Nintendo's part.
Cool. Well done.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up, unless you guys have any other final thoughts.
No, it's good for me.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for anybody that's watching this. This was our discussion on Nintendo's E3 presentation. If you aren't already, follow us on our other platforms.
Subscribe
YouTube.
to us on YouTube, like the video, leave us a comment telling us what you thought about Nintendo's E3. I'd like to know what.
Yeah, we definitely would love to know.
Yeah.
And of course, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. It means a whole lot to us. We put a lot of effort and time into doing research for you guys, so. But yeah, thank you for everyone watching. Have a good night.
Or day,
Oh, wait.
depending on whenever you're
Or
watching
day.
this.